Hello everyone and welcome to the New York Empoleon's Week 7 Team Builder of the GBA. We are taking on Danza, Crobat for the win, and the Los Angeles Nidokings this week. Coach, no wait, I really tried there, guys. I don't even think I'm going to cut that one out. But he is a member of the TTM, just like me and just like Jolt. And if you missed it, this past Wednesday, I streamed the TBL versus TTM war. I won't talk too long about it on the GBA video because that doesn't make a whole ton of sense, but a lot happened, and the New York Empoleon now have their own channel on the TTM fan server, so go check that out. Link for that will be in the description below of this video. I don't always post that one, but it will be here, especially because I'm playing Danza this week. So make sure you check out Danza's side of the video as well. Great guy. He just got a waffle maker, so you should check him out because he's making waffle making videos, and those are way cooler than Pokemon videos, let's be honest. Danza's team, he hasn't been getting the wins with it, but although recently he started, picking up some wins. So he and I are both in the same place where we're both in desperate need of a win and is going to play like we're in desperate need of a win. So his team is Palkia, Genesect, Tapu Bulu, Hawlucha, Heatran, Florges, Krookodile, Silvally, Gengar, Kommo-o, and Mega Alakazam, which is terrifying because it really does take advantage of the terrain. Now, Gengar and Kommo-o being his two Z users, both very, very good Z users in my opinion, very scary mons. But his team it's an interesting team, and it's not a team that I know I would feel comfortable using, but the problem is my matchup against his team enables him to bring pretty much anything on his team. There's not much that I'm like, he definitely won't bring that mon for whatever reason. So I certainly have to keep that in mind. This Scrafty, as you're seeing as I start my team builder side of this, is sort of a testament to the things that he could have. Adamant Assault Vest with Shed Skin is a very weird mix of things going on there. So this thing can take a Magma Storm from a Heatran, takes like 25% from that. Shed Skin does not allow me to break out of a Magma Storm, but it does allow me to get rid of any Toxic, anything like that, from any of his mons, or a Thunder Wave from something like the Genesect, or the Silvally, or whatever he decides, he wants to try to burn me with the Heatran or the Gengar, then I can, shrug that off as well. Now, Knockoff Drain Punch Poison Jab was actually good enough coverage for his entire team that isn't named Genesect, in terms of getting pretty decent value out of. And the last move was really a toss-up between Fire Punch, Dragon Claw, Fake Out, Low Sweep. I mean, a lot of moves ended up sort of fitting that spot. But because this thing theoretically can force a switch on one of his mons like the Heatran after he notices that I'm Assault Vest, Knockoff is my de facto play in most cases, but Low Sweep in the mid game to something like a Krookodile switching in, which would be very surprising if he's in the Heatran and switching to Krookodile. But the Florges then comes in, I Low Sweep, it underspeeds me, and then I can Poison Jab, or the Bulu, the same deal, or even the Genesect comes in and I click Low Sweep. I definitely think that that's going to be a valuable asset for me this week. The Assault Vest with max special defense allows me to take a Dazzling Gleam from Mega Alakazam at full HP, and I OHKO back with a Knockoff, which is absolutely fantastic. I thought about running Pursuit in that last spot as well. I mean, that last spot was really a toss-up of what specific thing do I want to be able to counter, but Low Sweep allowing me to hit everything that isn't Gengar on a switch in, and then switch this thing out with that thing at -1 speed allows me to then play around that a little bit better and hopefully get some utility out of that. Drain Punch I thought was better this week than anything else in terms of stab, just because I don't have any other form of recovery. I'm not running Rest with the Shed Skin, which is a decent move, but I did need the Assault Vest unless I was going to run Roselli Berry, but Roselli Berry was like a one-time thing, whereas Assault Vest theoretically can be a utility for things like the Heatran. I can take a Moonblast from a Florges if he's not specially invested. I can take Dazzling Gleam from a Mega Alakazam, like I said, and I can take it from the Palkia pretty well as well, and knock that thing off as well. Next up, we are going to be using Zapdos this week, which is going to be Rocky Helmet, Discharge, and Heat Wave being its offensive moves, and then Defog and Roost in the back. Defog, obviously, that's not surprising on a Zapdos. Discharge, I decided to do over Thunderbolt since I'm not really OHKOing anything anyway, and I can try to get some paras between the Static and the Discharge, which do help me, again, with the speed control aspect of this game, which I think is going to be an important asset of mine. If he does have the Mega Alakazam and does switch that thing in on the Zapdos, the Discharge has a 30% chance to paralyze that, which makes that thing much less of a threat late game. So that's certainly something I can consider. Plus, there's a 25% chance that anything that's paralyzed just doesn't do anything. And his switch-ins to me, to my Zapdos, being things like the Bulu, don't like taking a Heat Wave. The Silvally, don't want to, especially if it's not Silvally Ground or Electric, don't want to be paralyzed. So that's certainly something that I want the Zapdos to take advantage of. And it is a very physically defensive Zapdos. In order to stop a physical Genesect, pretty much in its tracks, barring Chill Drive shenanigans, as well as stopping the Bulu. That's a much bigger threat to me, honestly. And the Crocodile as well. Don't appreciate seeing a physical defensive Zapdos. Next up, we have the Dialga, which is going to be coming with an Expert Belt. For the second straight week, I'm actually going to be rocking out with a physical Dialga, which is pretty crazy. But it's quote-unquote mixed. It is Adamant with 0 special attack. But Overheat still with an Expert Belt kills the Genesect and the Bulu from full when I am Adamant 0 special attack. So unless he's running Bulk or an Akaberry or something, that Overheat is just going to just demolish them. 252 HP Bulu has a like 68% chance to die from an Overheat from full, and follow that up with an Iron Head if he's not Scarfed, since I potentially outspeed. And I am running a decent amount of speed in this. I outspeed a uninvested Palkia. That's what I was trying to outspeed. So even if he's running Bulu to speed creep me, I'm running like 156 speed in this thing. So that's certainly something. This thing is incredibly offensive this week. But the coverage was better. And honestly, Earthquake versus Earth Power was a debate that I had with my front office a lot. And I opted to go for the Earthquake here. I don't know if that was the right play, I'll be honest. Earthquake hitting basically just Heatran and Gengar, and Bulu not being a switch into a Dialga like ever, makes me feel like I can play around the grassy terrain pretty well. If there is grassy terrain up and his Heatran is at full health, then yeah, I switch out my Dialga instead of clicking Earthquake. But even if I'm at -2 from the Overheat, I'm not clicking Earth Power anyway on the Heatran, I'm switching out regardless. So I didn't think it was the worst thing in the world to run Earthquake over Earth Power, and then if I was going to do that, I was going to have to run mixed EVs and run a minus defense nature instead of a minus special attack nature, and probably Fire Blast over Overheat, and I just figured this was probably a better overall situation. Dragon Claw 1v1s the Palkia really well, and that's really all it needs to do, and then Iron Head is just the best stab move that this thing gets, and it's decently speedy, so he maybe can get some flinches on things like the Florges, on things like the Silvally that isn't speed invested, or the Como-O if I'm forced to stay in against that. That means I'm in a bad situation, although Dragon Claw is doing a lot to Como-O as well. Next up, we have my Tapu Lele. This thing is incredibly good against his team. Fingers crossed, it's only good if it actually hits him. Since the two things that can switch in on this 100% for free on its stats are the Genesect and the Heatran, I gotta land some Focus Blasts, probably late game. This thing does not ever touch the field until Genesect is dead. That thing is too much of a threat. Even if I really know that he's like Choice Band Adamant and I've assessed that and I outspeed that, not like I have enough speed to outspeed that, I still don't let this thing touch the field until the thing's dead if I can. Getting to +1 from a Calm Mind plus the Babiri Berry allows me to take 2 Flash Cannons from a Heatran, which is amazing. Allows me to take a Sludge Bomb from a Gengar, not a Z Sludge Bomb, but a regular Sludge Bomb, and then KO that thing back with Psyshock. Florges obviously does not appreciate a +1 Psyshock in the electric terrain. Wow, what? We're running like every other terrain here. And last week I faced Finny. I haven't even faced Coco, but I have Coco in a different league, so. In the Psychic terrain, nothing wants to take a Psyshock. 2 KOs the Heatran, actually, in Psychic terrain, with a Calm Mind boost, although Focus Blast still does do more than a Psyshock. And then the Babiri Berry is there for the stray Iron Head from Silvally, or Flash Cannon from like Palkia or something crazy like that. But Gengar is still a major threat to this, as long as I have, but I don't think I'm going to bring this in. I'm not going to play it like it's Scarf. I'm not going to bluff anything. I just want this thing to maybe if there's like a revenge killing opportunity against something very slow like the Florges, I'll bring this thing in and click Psyshock if he doesn't have a Crocodile there. Otherwise, I really don't think that this thing is going to come in early game, which is why it's pretty safe. It would have been safe for me to run Fake Out on my Scrafty, since that thing is probably going to be an early game, breaker, and then this thing is going to be a late game cleaner, but that is the way it's going to go. Ditto is the next mon. It is Choice Scarf. We are rocking out with a HP Rock this week is what I ended up deciding to go with. I believe, I'm actually not 100% sure about that hidden power. I definitely prepared one, but I can't remember what a hidden power was. Possibly fire, hold on. Well, I'll just display it on screen. I just can't remember off the top of my head what it was, but I will display it on screen, so you guys will get the chance to know what hidden power I am rocking out with. But this thing is going to be, it's a Ditto. It does Ditto things. He has a couple of mons that like to set up, and so I do want to make sure that I can stop them. The Heatran, if it's prepared incorrectly, can basically just not hit itself. Not incorrectly, I guess that would be sort of correctly, but it could have rocks that I can then take advantage of and put up on his side of the field. He can't hit me with a Magma Storm. Flash Cannon's not going to do anything. Yeah, he can Earth Power if he does have it, but most Heatrans are EV to survive one Earth Power from a Heatran, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue, and then I outspeed him and then can Earth Power myself. So not going to be as aggressive with this Ditto as I sometimes am, but I think that this thing is going to be incredibly useful to get information on things like the Genesect, on things like the Gengar, if I can get safe switch-ins into them. And then obviously, if I can get my own Mega Alakazam in Psychic Terrain that's Scarfed, and perhaps Trace's Genesect's download gets a special attack boost, you know, all I'm saying is that we got options there. It's very unlikely that I would be able to do that, but it's possible. And finally, we are going to be using Mega Beedrill this week with a Jolly Nature, enough to actually outspeed Scarfed, Heatran, and Bulu, since I am able to outspeed everything that is below base 80, Scarfed. So, that is what I decided to run this week. A lot of speed and Jolly Nature in order to do that. I have T-Spikes. They're actually really good if he brings certain mons, and really not helpful if he brings other ones. So if he goes like Palkia, Bulu, Florges, Crocodile, Silvally, Mega Alakazam, Como-O, great. I love having them. But if he brings the team that's like Genesect, Hawlucha, Heatran, Gengar, then they're like dead weight, you know? So like, it's sort of an interesting interaction there. It's sort of like what I see at Team Preview. I need to have it just in case, because they're really good against a huge portion of his team. But if he has the mons that are going to stop him, like Gengar especially, then I don't want to set them up until that's gone, so I don't reveal that. But this thing is a pretty safe lead. The only real stop to it would be a Scarf Crook. And if that would be surprising to me if he brings Scarf Crook, because of the fact that it doesn't outspeed Scarf Lele. So again, Scarf Genesect, very, very likely. I could see that being a big issue for my team, but that thing really can't touch Dialga at all. And so that's why I don't know if he's going to bring that, but he could. And Scarf Heatran is something that he could definitely bring, but this thing outspeeds Scarf Heatran. I don't think Drill Run Oko's from full, so I do have to watch out for that, but we do have options there. So that's going to be the team this week that we're facing off against Danza with. I hope you guys do enjoy the battle tomorrow, and I hope you guys are enjoying the GBA this so far. I don't know what's going on. I hope you guys are enjoying the GBA so far this season, and I will see you guys back here tomorrow as we take on Danza and the Los Angeles Nidokings in Week 7 of the GBA Main League Season 9. Take care, everybody.